Okay, so here is my curly ponytail bun, and like I mentioned in the video, I didn't get my hair completely wet, just fully covered in water or whatever, because I like my puff to be big, and if your hair is soaking wet, it will not get this big on the first try, or you'll have to like wait for it to dry, and like it'll puff up over the day. But I like my stuff popping from the second I put it in, so you're preference. Starting on my hair, it is a little wet, damp at the roots. Anyway, I'm starting with my water bottle, and I'm just gonna spray my edges. I do this. I used to do it because with my Eco Styler, it would flake up really disgustingly when I didn't put water in first, because it just never reacted right with any of my products. It's really annoying. And then I'm just gonna spray some water on the rest of my hair, just so that the curls start to form a little better than they were, because then I'm going to apply some product and it's going to hold these curls that just got created with this water. My hair is damp, and the reason why it's damp and not like soaking, dripping wet is because when I'm styling my ponytail, bun, whatever, depending on how thick it is or how dry it is will determine how big the puff is. So if it's soaking wet, the bun is going to be really small, so I don't want to do that unless I'm going to go for a small bun. So I leave it somewhat thick still. It's not damp enough to the point where it makes my hair all clumped together and more thinner. Okay, so I'm going to get some oil. I got just a few drops. I'm actually going to do a few more because a few wasn't enough, and I have a towel near me, because this get real with water. And I guess a gray shirt wasn't the greatest idea. Just slide some oil all up in my hair. Next I'm applying, and I used a lot because I only plan on doing this once. I'm using some Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Coconut Curl Enhancing Smoothie. That's what I'm using. And this just touches my little curls and make them look luscious, give them some love that I think that they well deserve. And yeah, that's really why I use that. And it smells really good. And the other product that I use doesn't have a very strong smell like I would like it to. So mixing it with this not only makes my curls pop harder, but it smells really good. So I have oil in my hair. I have put in some curl enhancing smoothie, and now I'm getting ready to use some of Camille Rose. Yes, Camille Rose's cream maker or curl maker, and it literally makes curls. I promise, like curls niggas I know they had. So got some of this, and I'm applying it the same way I did my curl enhancing smoothie. Now, if I was doing a full out wash and go, like, you know, whole head soaking wet, doing everything I can to hold the curls in every defined area in my head possible, this would be different. I would obviously have my hair much more wet, and I would take this in sections and apply it that way. But since I'm just doing a ponytail, all I really need is like my outside curls popping, some middle curls popping, you know, really just enough to say, or to be able to consider it a curly ponytail or a bun. Because I have definitely had instances where, I'm going to apply some more water because I just had a flashback, where my hair wasn't wet enough in the middle, and it's like, when I put my hair in the bun, it's like freaking all curly on the outside, but then like a big afro in the center. So it's like a big afro covered up by some curls. Like, what the fuck you got going on here? So I lost my train of thought. I forgot like what I was talking about. So I'm gonna let that conversation go and move on to the fact that I'm still applying this like so. I have two methods of how I style, or what I style my hair with. First is this. This is my go-to, and it's much larger than it originally started off. It started off with like a regular size headband, but my head's big and I like to wrap it around twice. So I take this, use it this way, or I use a regular ponytail holder. I'll explain the pros and cons of both. With this one, it makes some of my ponytails loose. Like they can't be as tight because if I wrap it around the third time, it's too tight. But if it's the second time, it's too loose. So that's the only con with this because it will never stretch back to a smaller size. With this, it's too tight. So when I put it on, it's like a very sleek ponytail, which I like, but it's an uncomfortable sleek. Like this can sleek it back and it's like still be fancy or whatever. But this hurt. So it just depends on whatever I feel like going for. Typically this one, and that's what I'm getting ready to use. And the other one's pretty self-explanatory. Like all I do with this is I pull all my hair up and I wrap it around one time. Let it go and it fluffs out. Next I use Murray's Edge Wax Control something. This is what I use. I just started using this and I use a heaping amount, don't judge.
Okay, so obviously I cut the sound out right here because I was talking about irrelevant stuff. I was just blabbing and I would much rather just fast forward through this part.
Like look, this is what it'll look like. Just pull it back like a little slicked. I don't know if I'm gonna call it slick though. And then, look, this is my Eco Styler and it's real empty, but I'm holding on to it for dear life. So I'm about to try to scrape a little something up out of here and put it on my edges. So, we got curl in our hair, we got our edges slicked back. We're getting ready to put our beautiful headband on this thingy. And I just put it on like that. Try to get it tight. And I'm pulling from the back here. So I'm pinching this together and pulling. And I'm gonna, I can't explain this very well, but I'm pushing and pulling in all directions. This doesn't hurt, by the way, which is another great thing about this is the material doesn't yank my hair out. So yep, still moving up the back, pulling. And then I'm gonna wrap it. So see, pull it up a little more. Make sure we're good in the front. It's still slick, and I'm pulling it over. Now this is where the illusion comes in. Cause look how big this mug looks already. I'm probably gonna take some selfies and put them in this video or at the end or something because let's work on my edges real quick before we dismiss. Because why is the light there? Don't do that. Okay, now I got this sleek ass curly ass ponytail ass bun. As you call it, a bun. It's a bun. It's not a ponytail. It's definitely not a ponytail. But I think it could be a ponytail because look how I pull down all these strands. So they're like, okay, is that like her bun overflowing or is that her ponytail and it ain't tucked, you know? Like you don't know what's going on. And you're definitely not gonna try to come figure it out because you're not gonna be able to. It's too much hair and too much cords going in places. Like, I don't know. You're not gonna figure it out. But anyway, this is my curly wash and go pony. And I'm about to make some more videos and pictures to post along with it because I feel like this ain't the greatest lighting. And you can see it better in the camera or something.